I mean, it's better than all the weird porno comments we get all the time that I keep deleting, and you keep saying stop deleting.
Engagement!
It's engagement with a weird Italian bot.
Listen, the bot posting comments helps exposure.
It fucking does.
Wrong kind of exposure, Peter.
Ah! All right, motherfucking gentlemen, it has been 2 months. We have made no content. Why is that? It's like last
Warboats.
It's warboats again.
Battle schooners.
Attack ships? No, that's the normal word. Attack vessels. We played 4 rounds of warboats in the last 2 months. I traveled for work a bunch. Worked on my house. JB probably colonized Mars. I don't know what the fuck you get up to, JB.
I did dad things.
You did dad shit.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't make any fun videos. But we're going to make them now, and also this one. And we're going to talk about what the fuck happened in Warboats.
I think we gotta recap what Warboats is, though.
What the fuck is Warboats?
So Warboats is a competition on TrueTrophies, # not sponsored. I would say we're not open to being sponsored by TrueTrophies. Whatever. Anyway, it's a competition by TrueTrophies where it's basically you play Battleship, but on a slightly smaller grid. And the way you shoot at stuff on the grid is by unlocking a trophy on that grid. It is competitive, so you have an opponent each round, but your opponent kind of doesn't matter, because a lot of people joined this competition who did not plan to do it.
Peter,
so it's basically
how many people
solo.
you played against didn't play?
3. 3 of my 4 opponents didn't really play.
JB, how many of your opponents didn't play?
Like all of them. I think
all
one
4,
kind of.
and only one. Yeah, and only one of mine played. So of the 12 matchups, we had 2 that were real.
I'm really bummed. I'm really bummed
Yeah.
that none of us got matched together, because it wasn't just us in
That's
the
what I was
competition.
hoping for.
We knew like 4 more people in this thing, and I was like, just give me one matchup between 2 people we know.
So when I beat them, they can come over to my house and try to fucking kick my teeth in.
Exactly. I want physical violence from these trophy competitions.
So it's been all 4 rounds, 2 weeks each, all 8 weeks. It's all wrapped up. Peter, did we win?
What do you define as winning? I didn't expect to come in first.
No, because we didn't try to game the system.
But we're all in the top 15.
We are in the top 15.
So that's good.
Out of what, 200?
Out of like 200, yeah.
I thought it was 186. I don't want to be that guy.
That's 200-ish. You would round that to 200.
194. You were about dead on. So, in 11th place, we have Jake Butt.
The crowd goes wild.
In 9th place, we have Peter.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
In 8th place, we have some other person that we know. In 7th place, we have me. Yay.
Well, actually, give yourself 8 more points, Dibble.
I should give myself 8 more points. We'll
well,
talk about
okay,
that.
if we're giving Dibble 8 more points, we should give me 20 more points.
No.
I'm just saying, if any of you went up against the guy I went up against in the last round, you would not have those 20 points either.
We're okay. Peter, we're not on round 4 yet. We got to start at our humble beginning in round 1 and recap, because I know the first video we did,
we were in the middle of it.
About our. We were in the middle of it. I don't think we'd finished round 1, had we?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, we just talked.
Let's go quickly watch our own video. So it looks like we're halfway through, because I have like 10 hits, Peter has 5, and JB has 4. So we hadn't finished round 1 yet.
Okay, so we're early in. It is interesting that we all had such a weak round 1.
Yeah, it was bad.
My round
JB
one was
scored the
terrible.
lowest. Boo, JB.
I didn't even sink a ship, but I had 10 hits.
You did have 10 hits. You had 29 points. You had some daunting ones. You had complete the epilogue of Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a little bit of work. On your grid, you had get the platinum in Ghost of Tsushima and get the platinum in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. You know.
Wow.
Complete
it is worth noting that
Ace Attorney.
The way they attempt to make these grids is they have to be more common than 25%, and they try for each spot to be the same rarity on your opponent's grid as on your grid.
They do a pretty good job of that.
I think they do a pretty good job of that.
But
you know, sometimes you get these easy games, quote unquote, that are not that easy and are long. and are like, get the platinum. It's 30% rare.
Yeah. It's silly at times.
And then the other person
especially,
gets the trophy in this obscure game that just is like the same rarity as your platinum.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, I mean, you wouldn't really say that getting all the trophies in Ghost of Tsushima is hard. But,
But it depends on where you're
that's
at.
a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's log.
That's a lot of time. Is New Game Plus necessary for the base game platinum?
No,
Is
it's
that
a
just
title
the
update
Sony?
thing.
Okay. But still, yeah, I don't remember how far into Yoku's a lot of this stuff is. I think hatching the God Egg is beating the game, which you got
That's
in
like-
another later round.
Yeah, that's the end.
But,
And
man,
you have to get all the
got
Wickerling
fucked hard.
dudes.
Yeah. So JB's round 1 was pretty... You made a good show of it, yeah. You didn't... I can't believe you didn't sink anything, but... Peter's round 1 sunk 2 boats, carrier and submarine. Had a
My
shot at
round
it,
1 is defined by Guardians of the Galaxy and The Messenger.
which was just play those 2 games and you get everything.
Oh, God, you
Both
played
of
so
which
much Guardians of the
whiffed
Galaxy.
hard.
Did whiff hard.
Like, neither of those... I shot, like, across the whole board and none of those gave me anything.
Somehow, Peter in round 1 had 20 misses and 10 hits. That's shooting 30 times and
Yeah.
hitting 33% of the time when it was the entire... That's pretty rough.
I
had
wish it
10 hits and
revealed-
21 misses.
Yeah, exactly. I wish it revealed to you where the boats were, because there's still
I do
2
too.
boats in the first round where I don't know where they are.
I know you have these stats too, but I remember in the first video we made, Assassin's Creed 3 for me was 17 of the 64 trophies. And I counted up how many of the trophies were from games I hadn't started yet, because that was when I'd accidentally still left them on my profile on TrueTrophies. It was 40 of the 64 were from games I hadn't started yet, which is 62.5% of all trophies I could have gotten were from games I hadn't started yet. Well, I ended up starting Assassin's Creed 3, Shadow Complex, Super Hot, Jack and Daxter. I did not start the Surge. And since then, I've platinumed Jack and Daxter.
I actually platinumed a lot from this. Like, I did Guardians, I did
Yep.
Spiritfarer. I'm sure there's got to be more than that. Let me look at a grid real quick.
Yeah, the only ones I platinumed were in round 3 or 4 is when I did both Glass Masquerades. Or no, Glass Masquerade 1 I think was in 3. I finished it in 3, and then 2 I think I finished in the last round.
I don't want to belittle your achievement, but Glass Masquerade is a puzzle game.
I know, I love those games. They're fun.
It's,
Just saying, it's not a hard platinum.
No, it's not, but I needed to add shit, and I'm like, I'm not going to add, like, Spider-Man.
You added an
oh my
extra
god!
bond you made.
So I started the competition with like you need to maintain at least 300 trophies that qualify, and I started
yeah.
with 500, and I was like, "Pfft, I'm fine. And at the last round, I was at 301 to be generated.
I think I was at like
Woof.
303 or 305 or something. I had to add Until Dawn in the last round. I dipped down to like 285 or something like that.
I think I was around 410 for round 4, but because I'd taken out the other games and then, beaten all the other ones. But Yeah.
Like Grid 1, I had Stellaris. Immediately had to get rid of that. Red Dead Redemption 2 had to get rid of that. So I think we had to trim some fat after round 1.
So
We all
so
did.
because it happened in round 1, I got my first factoid of data.
Gimme.
What do you think the number is for the most number of misses in a row, and who did it?
Is it you with like 6 or 7?
I'll
I
say
did have
me with
7.
11.
I did have 7, but I did not. I am not the most.
Is it me?
You had 7 in a row?
It-
7 in a row wasn't the most?
It 7 in the row was not the most. Dibble, you and I both had a streak of 7 misses.
It was me.
JB.
JB had 8 misses in a row in round 1.
Nice.
Christ.
Sounds about right.
Does sound about
That
right.
sounds about how my round 1 went.
It certainly felt that way.
Dude, I made up some ground though. I ended round 1, 55th place.
Yeah. And then you came back hard.
See, after round 1, Ash was in 11th. Peter's 20. Dibble was 25th, and Peter was 26th. So like we weren't super great in round 1. I don't like in general.
No, I think we all underperformed in round 1. I know personally I was scared off of some trophies. Like, I'm not gonna play all of Final Fantasy VII. Like, if we get more than one,
which you
shot
eventually
from that,
almost did.
Which you eventually
yeah.
almost did, yeah.
But I got like 20 shots from that.
Yeah, it
when
wasn't
it
worth like
actually
what you were
happened.
doing. Like it wasn't worth that.
This video is going to be 800 years long if we don't go to round 2 as soon as possible here.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Round 2. What happened in round 2? Round 2,
Like
I had to get 11 trophies in Jak and Daxter and 7 trophies in Bioshock. So that was pretty much all I did. In round 2, I had 17 games that only needed 1 trophy each.
it's kind of annoying.
What a
depending on what they
fucking
are.
joke. A quarter of the spaces were a trophy that was only needed for that one fucking game. So that was great. Peter, your opponent, fired 3 times, missed, and gave up.
Nice.
My opponent actually put up a score of 17, and then because they missed 32 times.
That's impressive.
That's a lot of misses.
The crazy thing is they only sank 2 ships. I'm not talking shit about this person, because, like, if you look at their board, they hit fucking everything. And they found, I think because they were playing the games all the way through, because they were still looking for the destroyer, which I don't think they ever found, but somehow they never sank the carrier, but they did sink the battleship, which I think is right here, and then they got 2 boats into their submarine, of which one of them was use a dialogue option in Cyberpunk, the other one was something in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then they sunk their cruiser. They never found the destroyer, and they never got the last shot on the submarine. It's so bad. What's this? Ghost of Tsushima? What is it? That would have sunk their carrier. Liberate 7 occupied areas.
Oh, it's easy.
They must have had, yeah. I mean, they probably had a lot going on. They hit 30. They shot.
That's a lot of shots.
That's
45 times. So when I say I won with a score of 70 with 16 hits and 18 misses, I feel bad. But I don't feel bad because this is the round where I got fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great round for you for sure.
Quick side note. So I got on a plane for a foreign country. And when I came home from that foreign country...
Not recently.
No, this
well,
was like
well before this competition.
This was June?
April or something.
Oh, yeah, back then, yeah.
I came home and I played One Piece Unlimited World Red on the flight home. And I got some trophies. And when I came home, I turned it on. And it was like, yep. And I was like, okay, it's synced. And then round 2 rolls around. And one of the trophies is to beat Chapter 4... Chapter 4 of that game. And I was like, aces. I booted it up, and it was like, you're on Chapter 5. I was like, that's a problem. So I checked, and I'd gotten the trophy for Chapter 4 already, but never synced, because when you turn on the Vita, if there's a system update, it doesn't ping you about it until you try to go into the trophies. But I assumed it had already synced them, because when you turn on the Vita, it has the little we have Wi-Fi signal, and I was like, it's syncing the trophies right now, baby. We're good. So I was like, I messaged the devs, and I was like, hey, this trophy is already popped. It can't be unpopped. Either give me the shot for free, but don't give me any points, so I can say that I got all the boats, or give me a different trophy for the same rarity, or there should be a thing you can do here.
Yeah,
and there were...
I think you're underselling. I think... As far as when we post things on TrueTrophies, which is always inflammatory and always stirring people up, I found your post very polite. You were like, here's like 5 options. Either, like, give me credit for a trophy I've already unlocked, swap it with another trophy, or, like, give me something in the same game, give me something that's...
Here's a bunch of options that won't take a lot of work on your end.
Yeah, and I'm surprised because whatever query they must be doing must be bounded by time. Otherwise, it would pick up that you got it. So.
Well, yeah, they go by timestamps on every competition.
Yeah. So.
And the thing that drove me nuts is the fact that I had like this discussion with the lead bug report guy for True Trophies. And he was like, yeah, that sounds like totally a thing we can work out. Let's get it done. And then a week went by, and I was like,
anything?
Are you doing anything?
Silence.
To like the day before that round closed, I was like, are you going to do anything? And
Hashtag not sponsored.
They were just like, if we don't say anything, if we don't move, he can't see us. I was like, I can see you. You're right there.
It's okay. You can't see me.
I can see you.
And then I just quietly sat here and took the fucking L. Granted, I beat the guy by, a billion points because he shot a bunch of misses, which I apologize that happened to you, but I fucking literally could... If he beat me by that one boat, I would have been fucking furious.
Or if you were to
because he
run
was
up against,
actually taking shots, so I thought he was going to win.
Yeah, Peter's opponent in round 4 or something. Like,
Yeah.
So, how did you guys do in round 2, Peter? You got some fun stats. So that's stand out for me in round 2.
I did great in round 2. I sunk all my boats, which you
The
should have as well.
first
person to do it.
board.
Yeah.
Clean board, 17 hits, 19 misses with a score of 77.
Peter had to beat all of Final Fantasy 17 or beat all the squat challenges to get his.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck that trophy.
Yeah, fuck that trophy. I strategically chose not to go for either the Final Fantasy VII beat the entire game or the beat half of the game and then do this hard mini game because I was like, there's got to be a board in my future that shows more Final Fantasy VII than this, and there was.
So, yeah, you didn't want to have to beat, because I think Chapter 8 is on here, so you would have had to beat, 10 more chapters.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is a lot of times in this competition, I found myself in, I have to hit this trophy that I know is a miss in order to get the one I know is going to be the hit.
Yeah.
And you would have missed
really
1,
frustrating.
2, 3, 4, 5 times?
Yeah, when you run the
get 8
math,
points?
it, doesn't make sense to do it.
Yeah, you'd get 3 points, yeah.
And then you're,
so-
screwing up your
so-
later board.
Yeah, exactly. And round 2 for me is much more defined by Vita. That was the round that I had to do Persona 4 Golden, and I had to start a new playthrough for that because my save was corrupted. And
Of course it was.
I did SteamWorld Dig 2 for a bunch. I beat almost that whole game in that round. Yeah, so I busted out the Vita again. Miraculous, it held the charge and it let me play it. I was very worried it wouldn't boot up, but...
Least misses in that round was me with 18. Obviously, most hits was JB with 17. Yeah, so Second round, we kind of turned it around. Third round, we all poured on the fucking gas.
Yeah. Well,
with
JB
shots,
up,
not with hits.
JB shows up in round 2 with a full board clear, and it's well, now we have to show up.
Yeah. In round 3, I was traveling for work. I was in North Carolina. I had to bring a console with me to make this remotely competitive. So I brought a PS4 with me.
You almost did it. You were debating it.
Yeah, it came down to get 10 platinum medals in Bayonetta or beat all of Sekiro, or get 10 headshots on Guardians in Mass Effect 3, which I ended up doing in round 4, and also some ridiculous thing in Nier. So it was PS3 and PS3, or PS3 and beat all of Sekiro. And I did the same thing you did. I went, fuck it.
Yep.
Because I came home on Friday for work. I came home on Friday from work, and I had 2 days to do all of that. And I was like, I'm not doing that.
Because this was the round that we were planning on coming up to see you at the very end of the round.
That's true. We were going to hang out.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to real hard at the beginning to be all right, we want to get done by the time we have to leave so that we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to pack consoles or anything like that. We don't have to worry about it when we drive up to see you. And then we get to our stopping point Saturday night on our travels to stay the night. We get called in the middle of the night that my mom has COVID and she is not doing... She's unable to watch the kids anymore. So we had to wake up early the next morning and head back. And then, lo and behold, a couple of days later, Dibble has COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you gave it to him from multiple states away, but it is an impressive feat.
Yeah. I traveled from North Carolina. I messed up in the airport. I did, I'm not going to say the bare minimum. I didn't wear gloves and a full face shield and all that stuff, but I wore a mask all the way. And then I got home and I texted my coworkers who had been traveling with me and they didn't get it, so it must have been on my plane specifically. But yeah, OG COVID, even vaccinated, is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
My wife got it from me. Obviously, everybody in my house had it. My wife lost taste for like 2 weeks.
See,
But it came back.
I'm like the only person I know who
Yeah.
had it and had symptoms for a day.
I had Omicron, which I had for like 2 days. This was like OG kick you on your ass, even if you're triple vaccinated with COVID. Like, yeah, I read online the Omicron stuff is like you get a piercing headache and you feel kind of shitty for like a day, and then you're literally fine the next day.
That's probably what I had.
And my boss said this. My boss said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, that's Omicron." This was like I took a day off of work, and I rarely do because I already work from home. So like, if you just lie in bed with your laptop, I was like, I don't want to play video games. I don't want to fucking do.
Yeah, you know
anything.
you're sick when you're like, I'm not
garbage.
going to play video games.
Yeah, it was horrible. But
So round 3.
Peter,
what'd we do?
you said you had some stats on full game completion trophies in rounds.
No. I said I had it for me. I didn't have it for
Oh, okay.
everybody. I have other fun stats.
Give me some round 3 stats besides the fact that it wanted me to get 10 trophies in Sekiro, and I fucking put the time in, and they were like all fucking misses.
Sure. I mean, most of the round 3 information I have isn't super noteworthy. It is JB's longest string of hits in one round.
Oh my god, yeah, it was great.
With 6.
I ended with 6. Yeah, I knew that's where I knew all my boats. So I guess it's not that impressive, but
I mean, I'm impressed.
I mean, that's when I was like trying to find all the boats and then go from there. But I had 16 hits. I knew where my last hit was. I honestly was just too tired to get it. Because we drove back Sunday and off like 3 hours of sleep. And so
You know,
Sunday I just,
sometimes
like,
the trophy
slept.
competition has to take a back seat.
Yeah,
That's
and it
just
was
life.
like I needed to play like 5 or 6 hours in Secret of Mana to beat that boss I needed for the last hit. And I was just like, no.
So for that round alone, I had to beat Sackboy, A Big Adventure. I had to beat Borderlands 2. I had to beat GTA 5. It was on here to beat Sekiro and beat Nier and beat Final Fantasy XIV online main campaign and beat Dishonored and beat BioShock.
That's a lot.
Fuck you, is what I'm saying. When that Final Fantasy XIV trophy reared its head, I was like, oh no. And I didn't end up needing it. But like, the fact that it existed meant I was like, oh, that might come up next round.
Spoilers.
Spoilers! It did! And it was a hit! Fucking, oh my god. That was such a fun day in Discord, because I did the math from where I was. I had just gotten out of, one of the achievements in a previous round was to like mine at a mining no, it wasn't that. It was one of the guild things, and if you played Final Fantasy XIV, you're like, oh, fucking blah. But like, I got like 10 hours into it and stopped. When you play an MMO, you play it all the way through and then you fucking forget about it. So the trophy to beat all of Final Fantasy XIV is like 50% achieved, which is insane. It was like 60 hours of my time.
Yeah, when you're playing a 10,000 hour MMORPG, you kind of forget what the guild grind is like.
So when it was like, that's how far I'd gotten for one of the previous rounds. I had to get the ability to airship to different starting areas. I went to a different one, it was like the goldsmiths or something. I got that trophy. It was a miss, obviously. But now I had access. And
Of
I
course,
was like, I'm pretty
of course
far.
it's a miss. It always
Of course
is.
it's a miss. I was like, oh, I can go to different areas now. I must be pretty far. I went to the fucking wiki. I was like 35 quests in to a 165 quest main storyline. So in like 5 days, I had to beat 80 quests. It's 120 quests. And just in Discord, I posted every day. I was like, 119 to go, 118 to go.
It's like a diary you find on like an island.
Sometimes it was pretty quick. Sometimes it was, hey, here's this fucking book. Go give it to this guy. And I had, funnily enough, a friend of ours who played the game for real was like, hey, I kept talking about how I was walking everywhere because I didn't have a chocobo, a mount yet. And he goes, you fucking poor. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm poor. And he just goes, oh, whatever, here's some pocket change. And he gave me like 150 grand. And I was like, what the fuck? It cost like $300 to go anywhere, and you gave me 150 grand. He was like, "Don't tell me I fucking never do anything for you." I was like, Jesus Christ. So he did a couple raids with me. He did a couple dungeons. But like, if it wasn't a dungeon, it was usually like less than 3 to 4 minutes for a quest. If it was a dungeon, it was like 45 minutes. Yeah. So it was like quick, fuck, fuck. The final 2 missions took 4 hours. Just gonna say that.
So it's like a GTA game.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because everybody's gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna have to. I'll say it now, but Muddle Symmetry will absolutely say in the comments that I have a team account, because at the down to the deadline, to get my destroyer, I needed to beat either Borderlands 2 or GTA 5 story mission, and they both had like 3 or 4 hours left in them each, and it was like 9 o'clock, and I had some friends over, and I was like, "Hey, you like GTA 5?" He was like, "Yeah, what's up?" I was like, "Can you beat the story for me while I keep playing Borderlands 2? So we just fucking we talked about One Piece, we broed out, talked about One Piece, played Borderlands, fucking GTA 5, it was great. It was a great night. Hashtag not a team account.
That's the team account.
It's not a team account.
We'll give it to you. You were down 8 points already this competition.
Yeah!
No sympathy. What is the...
I just talked about myself for like 10 minutes, and you know I love doing that, but like, what the fuck did you do?
My round 4 was the most insane round for me. I think any round where you clear the board and you have less misses than hits is like fire. This is the round where I had 7 hits in a row, and it was at the beginning before I knew where any of the boats were. It was great. I was off to such a strong start. And my opponent, in his first shot, finds his 2 boat, and then proceeds to find every other boat within 2 guesses, and beats me narrowly. Yep. I was so mad. I was raging so hard.
It was phenomenally fucking ridiculous. I will say that. It was crazy how much you got fucked up. Like, if I look at our statistics of who got the least misses, Peter has the least misses with 15. He still lost and sank all his ships. But that's like Eli Manning throwing 6 touchdowns and still losing. Which
the
is one
fact,
of my favorite
the fact that I
statistics.
lost to you in total score is so frustrating, because I had 1 more hit than you, I had 1 less miss than you, and I had 2 more boats sunk than you. So how did I lose?
One of those boats was bullshit, and you know it. So talking about full game completions. And in the final round, it came down to, like, I was trying to find my 5 boat and my 3 boat, and the only 2 places the 5 boat could be were either beat all of Final Fantasy XIV or beat Sekiro. And I was like, I would actually rather beat Final Fantasy XIV. And you were like, you fucking bitch. And I was like, listen. At least Final Fantasy XIV, I could just, like, drink and put on a fucking podcast. Sekiro, I have to be, like, on top of my fucking game. I gotta take, like, fucking Ritalin to be ready for that shit. Final Fantasy, I can just put on fucking anime and zone out. But I had to beat a shitload of Vice City. I had to beat Bayonetta. I had to possibly beat fucking Dishonored. I had to boot up Mass Effect 3, which is, you know, that's a crime in itself. I spent a lot of time playing Fallout New Vegas exclusively using energy weapons, which my character at the time was not spec'd to use, so they were all garbage. Oh man, what a great round. Beat Final Fantasy XIV, and then I had to do a fucking multiplayer grind in Black Ops 4. Fucking shoot me in the face.
You loved it, though. You had a blast.
I think my favorite part was the community. This whole event for us in our private chats, people, we would like just display what we were playing at the time, like stream the footage, and people would just like fucking come on and be like, "How's it going? You getting fucking hits? What are you working on?" And it's
my favorite bit was when someone would look at your grid and be like, "Just shoot this shot. It'll take 5 minutes." And it's like, that is beat the entire game and get all of the collectibles. What do you mean it's gonna take 5 minutes?
That's beat all of Nier PS3. What the fuck are you talking about?
People would just like all hours of the day just randomly call out, "Why are you not going for D7? 5 minutes tops." And I'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
One of the fucking cards I ended up going for in period 3 was break an enemy's card 1,500 times in fucking Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, which was just like, yeah, that seems like a necessary thing that I should grind out right now. Great, you play Chain of Memories for like 3 hours, and they're like, how long did that take? Like half an hour? You're like, yep, half an hour.
Half an hour. That's all you need.
Super quick. Oh god.
Okay, Dibble. How well do you know your overall stats here?
Like total misses, total hits, score?
No. In terms of best game, what game gave you the most hits throughout the entire competition?
Can I say before we do this?
Sure.
The reason I beat you is because you told me that I had to.
That's true. I told you if you get your last hit...
The viewers need to know. The last 2 things I had to do, I hit everything else because I accidentally found my 3-boat on the side while I was still working on the 5-boat. I had to beat Final Fantasy XIV. It was Thursday and the competition closed Sunday at midnight or Monday?
It's not at midnight. It was like in the morning.
It was like in the morning.
It was 10 o'clock on Monday, I think, in the morning. I had to beat Final Fantasy XIV and I had to do this fucking bullshit in Black Ops 4. And it was like Saturday night and I was just like fucking, I was like, I can't do this. I don't thoroughly enjoy these enough to do, like, Black Ops 4, I had played for like 3 hours and gotten 2 of the 10 specialist equipment medals I needed, which is just brutal. And you were like, listen, if you don't get these 2 shots, I will beat you. Even because I can't beat my opponent, I will beat you if you don't. If you get these 2 shots, you'll beat me by 1 point. And I was like, I have found the hope that I needed to rekindle the fire. To fucking persevere, and I played Final Fantasy XIV for like 12 hours straight.
It's true.
Peter handle it.
It's true. All you need is that little dose of inspiration.
That fucking pettiness, that spite of like,
Channel
hey, if you do this, if you don't do this, I'll beat you. Fuck that.
Did you channel your inner goalie butt?
I mean, channeling your inner goalie butt is being like, yeah, you can't fucking, oh god, he's coming this way. Oh god, I gotta, yeah, I blocked it. Fuck you, you idiot. That's how I felt playing Super Hot Endless earlier. Like, every time somebody new spawned, I was like, you fucking think you can fucking come in here and... Oh shit, he's got a shotgun! Oh fuck! Anyway, Peter.
William.
You're asking me about my stats.
What do you think your best game in terms of number of hits was? What's your gut feeling?
Do you have this for everybody?
I have this for everybody. I got all the numbers.
It fucking wasn't Hitman. I wanted it to be Hitman 3 and it fucking wasn't, I'll tell you that. Most hits. Am I gonna be mad that it's Sekiro? Because it's not Sekiro. The most trophies was Assassin's Creed 3.
That is true.
Me,
I have Assassin's Creed 3. You had 16 shots.
Okay. Because in total it was like 20 trophies that were on there. What had the most hits? Wasn't Shadow Borderlands 2.
Oh, it was Assassin's Creed 3 with 7 hits. It was. Borderlands had 7 shots and only 3 were hits. JB, what are you feeling? What do you think?
Gotta be Glass Masquerade.
I think Glass Masquerade 2, probably.
It was definitely Glass Masquerade 2 with 8 hits out of your 22 shots on it.
Wow! Fuck off.
And same for me in terms of 8 hits out of 22 shots, but it was Final Fantasy VII, which I basically got almost the entire platinum because I did all the side quests and everything. Yeah, I haven't cleaned it up yet. So
in I think round 3, while I was traveling, one of the shots I had to take on the board was get all like 1,000 precursor orbs in Jak and Daxter, which is basically just platinum the game. So I did.
Speaking of Jak and Daxter, it was your worst game in terms of number of misses. That gave you 11 misses throughout the whole competition.
It was easy. Like, every time I saw it, I was like, there might be a boat there. I'll go for it. Why not? Because it's just pretty straightforward. Once I got used to the dog shit camera controls.
JB and I, our most shots and our best game for hits is also our worst game for misses with 14 each. But you have another one, JB, that was also 14 misses.
Was it Glass Masquerade 1?
No, it was Astro's Playroom.
Phoenix.
Oh,
Astro's Playroom in round 4.
Because I had to
Gave you
add that
14
one.
misses.
I had to add like so
Yeah.
many games throughout just to stay above.
I also ran like by percentages, but like really it's like if you're more than 1, you're 2, and that's kind of it. But there is one game that one of us had that had 3 shots and all 3 were hits. Could anyone name the game?
3 shots. I'm trying to think of like what didn't have too much. One thing I think I might have shot 3 times was Plants vs. Zombies.
I'd have shot, maybe Bioshock for me might have shot 3 times.
The hint is it is a Dibble game, but it was not Bioshock. I have Mass Effect 1 for 3 out of 3 shots were all hits.
Oh, was it really? Wow.
Throughout all the rounds.
I was shocked at how tolerable all of the Mass Effect trophies were. In the grand scheme of things, how bad they could be, they were all pretty reasonable.
Yeah, they have that really awful trophy that's like beat every side quest in the game.
Which is going to be
with
too
like
rare.
every character or whatever.
That's true, it's
Yeah.
probably too rare. On the PS4 version it isn't, so it's good that you have the PS3 version.
I had get 150 kills with the assault rifle, and I loaded up my save, and I was like, right before a room where like 10 people spawned, and I was like, I just do this room 15 times, that's fine. And then I had complete like the asteroid mission, which I was
Break
in
Down the
already
Sky?
for the room with the 15 guys or the 10 guys, and then the next one was like research all the people, and the only thing I could have missed was like a skippable dialogue option near to the beginning of the game, but like far enough in that it would be a pain, and I'd gotten it. I just went around the Citadel, talked to all the fucking embassies, and got everybody else. I was like, this could have been so much worse.
Yeah,
and then Mass Effect
it
3,
could
it
have
was
been.
like it was like headshot 10 guys in the second mission, which is like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, it could have been a nightmare. That was a miss
been
anyway,
way
wasn't
worse.
it?
It was a miss. Fuck you. Of course it's a miss. Why would it be? Why wouldn't it? Oh, no. The headshot one was a hit.
Oh, okay, nice.
I think the 150 assault rifle kills was a miss. No, that was a hit too. Yeah, yeah. Mass Effect 1, all hits, baby. All hits all the time.
Real quick, just running down. JB played 23 unique games. Dibble and I both played 32 unique games.
Fuck off, bro.
Dibble's longest string of misses was 7, as was mine, but JB's was 8. The longest string of hits, Dibble had 5 in a row in round 4. JB hit 6 twice in rounds 2 and 3, and I hit 7 in round 4.
Jesus.
All combined, we have 416 trophies unlocked in the competition, and 85 total unique games between the 3 of us.
That's insane.
That's a ton. Those numbers are really high.
And it's like, it's the fact that these are all games that we haven't played in like 5 years. And it goes, hey, do you remember GTA Vice City? Fuck you, go play it a lot. And I was like, I don't really want to play it that much.
Too bad.
Can I talk about Vice City for a second?
Yeah, talk about Vice City.
GTA Vice City. So let's talk about the mindset of doing these competitions, because you're like, okay, I'm forcing myself to play backlog with like a purpose, like a fun little, meta game to do backlog.
I will tell you, I love that mindset. I love this like sniper trophy mindset of like, I'm getting this one trophy, and then I'm getting out. Like, yeah. That's so much easier than like, I'm gonna get this platinum in this game I hate.
So that's the second mindset. I was gonna say the first mindset is like, okay, I need 2 or 3 possible shots in this game. I'm gonna try to set the game up for a long-term completion. I'll come back to after the competition's done. Or how can I get this trophy in and out as quickly as possible without touching anything else? Because trophy guides are never written that way. They're always like, if you do this other thing, I'm like, no. If it says 100 stealth kills and it carries over between saves, I will stealth kill the first guy in the first room and reload that room 100 fucking times. If there's an achievement to open the door, I'm avoiding it at all costs.
Don't turn the flashlight
What
on.
if it shows up next round? Yeah, exactly. So it's like GTA Vice City, one of the trophies was buy all the properties, and I was like, and there's a bunch of other stuff for like, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm only really going for the story mission trophies right now. because there was 2 of them in round 3 or 4. I think it was round 4. And I was like, I'm going to set myself up in case I have to go for the other ones for later by, like, I beat a bunch of story stuff. I started investing in all the properties. I left the game to AFK while working on something on PS5 or PS3 because it was a PS4 game. So, like, because you could just leave Tommy Vercetti standing there and your properties accrue money in real time, and then you pause the PS3 game, go back to Vice City, go pick up all the money, go back to the save spot, let it grind again like that to get all the money to buy all the other properties. And then I did all of that, and I was like, all right, great. I didn't have to do any of that. Why do I feel accomplished? I didn't have to do that. That was for a completion I'm not doing right now. But it felt good. But it was completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
all I have to say.
there were a bunch that were like, after doing all the trophies for Guardians of the Galaxy that I needed like 2 more trophies. So it's like, well, I'm just going to cap this off. And like, Messenger was the same way, where it's like, I needed 3 miscellaneous trophies. And it's like, okay, let's.
Or you got to the point where you
wanted.
wanted to finish something because maybe you were done with your grid or something, but you couldn't because it'd just be more misses.
That happened in one of the rounds. In round 2, I think, when I had 16 hits, and I was like, I'm not getting the 17th one. But all the remaining trophies were like games I wanted to play.
Yeah. I wanted to play Hitman 3 a lot. And I didn't want to play the levels because every level to beat a level is going to be a trophy that could be on your board. And every fucking round, I was like, you gonna get... No, fuck you. No.
You got like maybe 1 on your grid.
1 or 2. Every round I got 1 or 2. Yeah.
Life is Strange 2. In like the first round, I think, I had beat the whole game, right?
It was the platinum, wasn't there, or something like that?
There was the platinum in round 2, but I didn't do it.
Oh,
So
okay.
in round 1, it was like beat the game. So I beat the game, and I consciously didn't get collectibles because I was like, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to make bank on collectibles as soon as they show up. Forgetting that the competition doesn't have DLC trophies included. So they were never going to come up. And so I had to...
never came up either,
So after the competition, I had to beat it again because I just didn't read the rules.
How many times did I have to bring up the rules that you didn't read?
I think you brought up the rules like constantly,
Yeah.
and you're like, "That's not how this works."
And then I would
also,
copy and paste
in round
it, and you'd be
4,
like, oh.
in round 4, I posted something like, "Oh, I sunk my 4 boat," and you were like, "You sunk your 3 boat. You have another shot in there."
Yeah.
And you were like, ah, fuck!
You said
I was
that,
like,
and I
oh.
looked at your grid and it said the crossed out was 3. I'm like, you sure?
You
No?
you sure about that, buddy? Yeah. Yes.
Or I mean, I was looking. I think it was the one I full cleared this round 2, where I was like, "What? It can't be." Like I hit a shot and it hit, but it didn't sink, and I'm like, what? I don't have any other shots. And you're like, no. It's this and this. I'm like, oh.
There was one board, I think it was Dibble's board at some point, where I was like, I don't know how this board makes sense, and I was like, it was like you had a
round
club.
4 where they were like, yeah.
You had like a
big clump in the
3x3 clump, and I was like, where are which ledges are different boats?
So I think the main thing I want to bring up about the way this competition, of course, can't be any better when it comes to the rarity of the trophies, but like is completely diluted by the way people play these games. So the number of times I got level up in GTA 5 online was almost every round I got either level 25 or level 50 in online to show up. I talked to somebody who was like level 400, and I was like, how long would it take to get to level 50? They were like, oh, dude, like 6 hours a day for a week. And I was like, yeah, because everybody who loads up GTA 5 immediately does the first mission, then does online and never goes back. So like the first thing they do is level 50.
Yeah.
Not because it's easy, but because they didn't do anything else in the single player. So it's like, win 50 multiplayer matches in Black Ops 4. I played like 3 matches. They were 10 minutes each. And I was like, I have to win 50. That's like 8 hours minimum if you don't lose any of the games. That's ridiculous.
I think that's just a flagging problem because they in the rules they do not include time-consuming trophies.
And nobody puts that on because they think, oh, it's not that hard. It's like a 1.2.
Right. But I don't know. I agree that that's a ridiculous trophy that shouldn't have been included. There were a few times where I was like, how is this not considered a time-consuming trophy?
Yeah,
But
I think they should have.
It's not really their
fault.
it should have excluded platinums no matter how rare they were.
You got 2 in 1 round, bro.
I had 3.
Did you have 3?
I think it was 3, and then, or maybe it was 2, and then complete all of Phoenix Wright, which wasn't the platinum, but it was the platinum.
It's
That's
basically the platinum.
Yeah, you had complete Phoenix Wright, you had Everybody Goes to the Rapture and Ghost of Tsushima
Yeah.
and beat all of Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think we all went through the fucking hellfire on this one. I think we absolutely earned every position on that leaderboard.
So,
I'm not gonna stir up any beef. There's always beef to be stirred.
yeah, so we liked...
But if you go into one of
Yeah,
these, if you
my main beef, I'm not really stirring beef with this comment, I don't think, but my main beef is like it was pitched as a competitive event. Yeah, it needs to be a bracket or elimination, or like if the people who are playing are showing up with like 0 shots, it's like
they get weeded out immediately.
Yeah, they should have just been weaned out.
I think it should have also had the cutoff of they have to be more rare than like 85%. And less rare than
like
25%.
go the other way.
Yeah.
You're saying because like the top people were
because every one of these competitions ever, they always forget to close the loophole of if you add a bunch of fucking Poji games right before it starts, you're bored. You're gonna miss a lot, but you're also never not gonna get all the votes.
Yeah, you could shoot the board.
You could just shoot the board.
I think that's the best solution, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, where it's like you can't really have a competition that's just number of trophies anymore, and you can't have a competition that is rarity or difficulty based, because people will game that. Like, I think just having a range of just being like 85 to 25 would solve.
I think the only
some
problem
of that.
for like a bracket would be like there was like almost 200 people, and these are 2-week-long periods. That would drag out like a year.
Yeah, I agree. Or do what they've done in previous years and just not make it competitive. I know Warboats, they've said it was like always intended to be competitive, and they just hadn't like finished working on it yet. But like,
I think my favorite aspect of Warboats is the fact that it's just a competition against yourself. You have a time limit, and it's only the games that you agreed to put on here.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
The only way to make that work for a bracket would be to like cut the time to like a week per grid. I don't think that's enough time.
Yeah, you can't do one of these grids in a week.
Unless it's like a 5x5 with 3 3-shot boats.
Yeah. Or at least you can't maintain it. You can't do 8 weeks of that.
No, absolutely not.
No. I was burnt out after week 3, and then week 4 came around. I was like, we gotta close out strong. So
I didn't even go for my last boat because it's like, I'm just kind of like over it.
We're done. No more Warboats.
So we talked about like weird looking grids. Can we talk about my grid 2, where every single boat touched the edge?
Yeah.
It was almost an entire string of boats only touching the edge, which is fucking bizarre. And then JB had this thing in round 2 where they were all just fucking humping in the middle. You had like a weird 2x2 block, and then round 3 is fine, round 4 is fine. Let's look at Peter's really quick.
I have that one round where basically every boat is touching. They're not a clump, they're spread out.
Round 4, it was this big fucking L.
Yeah. Oh my god, it represents my loss. Oh. It's a metaphor.
Oof. Yeah, round 3, all your boats are touching but the 2 boat, which is all by itself. So I think we all went into this competition with agendas. The fact that you didn't have to play an exhausting amount of Dragon Age Inquisition, to me, is a massive disappointment.
Well, round 4, I was so like, I gotta beat this guy, I gotta get in here, and I finally caved. I finally played Dragon Age Inquisition, and both of them were misses.
I took a screenshot on my phone of like the trophy feed on TrueTrophies, and it said PMD Elite Pete has unlocked trophies in Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm like, no fucking way.
I was so mad. No. I was like, I finally broke it, and I played it, and it betrayed me.
I very much enjoyed the fact that you did the math. You were like, I have to find this boat. There is a 2 out of 11 chance I do not have to play Dragon Age Inquisition, and it was literally one of those 2. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Disappointed in the lack of Surge. But that's
so unlikely.
That's my biggest miss, not playing the Surge.
Right.
How I dodged that the whole competition is amazing to me.
I think I came out of this competition similar to how I feel about when I finally go back to, like, actually try to get some trophies in Dead by Daylight. I'm like, the Band-Aid's peeled off. I might as well play fucking Kingdom Hearts.
While I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, once I was taught by somebody who actually knows how to play that game because they liked it, I was like, oh, this game
Chain
is
of
for dumb
Memories
idiots, baby.
is important for the Kingdom Hearts lore.
Shut
You just
your
don't
fucking
appreciate.
mouth. Shut up.
It's got
Like,
cards.
It
I
introduces
hated-
Naminé and the organization. It's like, it's important.
I didn't like the game the first time I was forced to play it. It showed at a different competition. I was like, this game sucks because I refuse to engage with the mechanics. And then I got to a boss and I was like, this is impossible because I refuse to engage with the mechanics. I don't know what I'm doing. And then he was like, this is how to engage with the mechanics. They're actually dumb and for idiot babies. And I was like, oh, this game's super easy. This is a joke. And I just like stomped through the whole like first third of the game in like a day. And I was like, I kind of want to play the rest of this. And I looked at the trophy list and I was like, ha! Never mind. You beat the game like 4 times.
Just kidding.
And get all the cards. It's ridiculous. I don't want to do that. Fuck that shit.
One of my trophies was like a miscellaneous for the last mission in Deus Ex. And so I beat that whole game in one day. And then I was like, what would it take to get this platinum? And it's like, 4 more playthroughs. I'm like,
never mind.
We're good. Never mind.
Never mind.
We'll wait for the
Wait
next
a couple more years for
competition.
the next Warboats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about playing Assassin's Creed 3 was that Ubisoft decided that nobody got to play their game anymore online. Which I didn't really care about Assassin's Creed 3, but I have a lot of memories with the multiplayer. And it was like, hey, I'm already here. You know, I talked to some people in other Discords and we got going on boosting the multiplayer. I'm done with Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer. This is getting shut off next Thursday, so probably like, hopefully a day after this comes out. But I'm working on Brotherhood right now, and it is rough.
Yeah,
It's like like NetherRealm levels of.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
in college we played Brotherhood with like 4 different people rotating on the same profile, and
Yep.
it still took months.
Teaming.
It was Yumi and Cortez and maybe a 4th person who I don't know, and we played like literally every afternoon for 2 months, and then we got to level 55.
You know,
like the
you know,
boosting
Mud's
methods-
gonna bring up this like you've been teaming for how many years?
Been teaming forever.
Yeah, we all rotated out playing a party game together. Yeah, it's a team account. I mean, I literally texted I texted Cortez, the guy we played with. I was like, it's getting shut off next week, and I texted him the gif of like, Solid Snake saluting, and he just said, he's like, I'm gonna miss the chop, get shanked. I was like, oh man, so good. What a good concept for a multiplayer game that they just went, hey, what if we just forgot about this? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, that was the era where all sorts of things were getting shoehorned in as just like cash grabs, and that
And
one
it
was
were hit and
actually
miss.
good.
And it was good, yeah.
That one landed.
That one definitely landed.
Dead Space 2 had multiplayer. BioShock 2 had multiplayer.
Bioshock 2's multiplayer is
Bioshock 2's multiplayer was a good idea, but was not fun.
bad. No, it wasn't.
So it wasn't a good idea.
No.
It was a good idea. That like this like power up that you become the big daddy. I think that's cool.
Hey JB, how's the Tomb Raider multiplayer?
Yeah.
Hey JB,
fine.
how's the fucking Last of Us multiplayer?
Jesus.
How is that, baby?
It's just a
that was.
It's a
Oh.
it's like dudes just like pot shouting at each. It's like Apex but slow.
But slow, crouching, bro. Peter, we played the Last of Us multiplayer.
I had to do it for
For
the alphabet
round
challenge
3?
going on now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
I think round 3 we did it, and it was a miss.
I
think it
I
was a
didn't
hit.
need it. You needed it. I don't remember.
And you
what
were like,
needed.
"I'll fall on that fucking grenade."
Yeah,
I was like,
fuck
"You
it.
don't have to fall on this grenade."
This is
You
the
were like, "Fuck it."
PS3 version, or was it the PS4
Yeah,
version?
it's the
PS4
remastered.
version.
Yeah.
PS3's long shut off. The funny thing was, we went into a match, and it was like all people who were like rank 16 or something, and JB and I are like rank fuck fart, right? We're all rank 1. And like, I was like, I'm just gonna hope we get the map that I need for the trophy. I'm not expecting to get to like 5.
That's
downs
the
in the
worst
match.
thing about the Last of Us multiplayer trophies. It's like
Yeah.
on this specific map, it's like
it reminds
cool.
me of Gears of War. Like exactly.
It was
like,
Gears of
yeah,
War
it's-
without the chainsaw gun.
Yeah.
Without the, and it was like the first game we played. We were genuinely fucking actually kind of working with these randoms, and I was like, shouldn't these people all be like net level 9,000 and kicking our fucking dicks in? And we won the first game we played. The second game we played,
Oh, we
a
just
bunch of people
followed that
dropped
one
out,
guy.
And then like a fucking level 900 guy joined in, and JB and I are like, we're fucking on your ass this whole time. I will heal you. I will fucking tuck you in at night. You will carry us. Boy, did he. Holy shit.
But the problem is you need 5 downs.
I still got it was because it also included finishers.
Oh, okay.
So he would down a guy and go for the next guy, and I'd run up and fucking down him and finish him and be like, yeah, I did that. I did that.
No help. Man. I did it by myself.
So we played 2 rounds of that multiplayer and got like 11 trophies because we both got the 5 executions both matches. We got win a round of multiplayer, you know, get a kill, whatever. It was nuts. It was just like pop, 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 pop. We're like, what the fuck is happening?
It's raining trophies.
It's raining trophies. And then we uninstalled it right afterward, which is a great feeling. I'd go back to it for funsies. I just don't really want to.
I had
fucking
in the new challenge, the alphabet challenge. I needed to. It was like win a game of survivors, which is the mode we play, which is like
yep.
You just get 1 life and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's
and then there was supply raid, which is like you have reinforcements. So every time a person on your team dies, you lose a reinforcement. And then once you get down to 0, then everyone has just their last life, and then you eliminate the team. Yeah. So I had to win a game of that, and I won my first game and popped that trophy. And I was like, all right,
fucking
eject, go back on the shelf. Dibble and I will come back to you later.
I couldn't, man. I couldn't with the alphabet challenge. I couldn't. After this, I was like, I want to get back to doing fucking YouTube stuff. I want to get back to playing the games I want to play.
Yeah.
And I gotta finish some house projects.
I did polish off Ghost of Tsushima.
So you mentioned the alphabet challenge. I forgot. I also of the 416 trophies that we earned in Warboats, how many times over did we get the alphabet?
There is no fucking way anybody got a trophy that began with X.
We do not have an X trophy. The correct answer was 0 because we're missing X.
Just X?
We have every other letter. We have a Z and 3 Qs.
Wow.
4 U's, 4 V's, 21 W's.
21 W's!
Counting fucking alphabet.
I'm gonna have to edit the piss shit out of this video.
59 T's, you know.
That's a few T's.
Well, you get all the thes in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Lords of the Fallen, you know how to...
Oh my god, what a shit name. Fuck you, Jeff Keighley. I know you didn't name the game.
So, Peter, you put out a Tales of Platinum on fucking Roller Drum recently. How does it feel to be fucking king shit of Roller Drum on the leaderboards?
Have you knocked me off? Is this bait?
No, I came really close to beating you in the last level.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you had like knocked me off with something
kind of
today, and then we're like, "How's it feel?"
No, I lost you by like 50k, which is like one decent trick in a multiplier.
That's like me playing Ollie Ollie World, and I get to the end of a level, I'm like, "That was a good level," and I see Peter score, I'm like, "Fuck that guy, turn it off."
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Ollie Ollie World was an experience, dude. It was like, I don't know if you remember when I was playing it, but I was like, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I can get this platinum. I think it's too hard.
You were in the Discord streaming it like every day for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's a hard one, for sure. And then, of course, you get all the people in the forums who are like, it's like a 4 out of 10 at best.
Are you really dragging that through the mud right now? You dragging that person through the mud?
I mean, I don't even know who it was. I'm just, like, calling out that behavior in general.
People tend to do that a lot. I've never understood that until the number of times you've been like, VR games are really hard, and I'm like, I think my favorite platinums are VR games, and I'm like, I guess, yeah, a lot of my VR platinums, I'm like, yeah, it's like maybe a 5 or a 6, and you're like, that's like an 8. So
I struggle. Like, maybe it's because I'm fat. Maybe it's because I'm out of shape and fat.
I'm also fat.
But yeah, I don't like ranking difficulty out of 10 anyway. I've said that a million times.
You have.
I think that's stupid. And when you're arguing between a 2 and a 3, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, if it's less than 5, it's just like you fart and you get all the trophies. What's that argument?
Yeah, like
my favorite.
Maybe it's just 10 is too large of a scale for me. That I'm just like, when it's 1 point difference, I'm like, I don't know what the difference is between these two.
Yeah. Because then you get comparative, and it's like, oh, back in the day, Meat Boy's a 7 out of 10. Well, no, it's not. It's a 10. But you're nowadays like Ollie Ollie World's a 7 out of 10. Ollie Ollie World and Super Meat Boy are the same
Fuck
What?
no.
Yeah, no way. No way.
Should be more super easy though. It's just beat on the
Yeah,
levels
it's
without
fucking-
dying. That's like pretty
Yeah, it's
straightforward.
like 4 out of 10.
Now who's calling people out? Now who's...
It's like a 4 out of
You
10.
could conceivably get the platinum in one go if you just never died and did everything. In
Dude,
one
it's
go.
5 minutes.
said that-
5 minutes tops.
I said that the other day. Somebody was talking about Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh,
And I
fuck
was
that.
like, I mean, hypothetically, if you are already an expert at Crypt of the Necrodancer, you could get the platinum in like 20 runs. And they were like,
Yeah.
what? That's impossible. I'm like, I'm just talking like functionally in the game. It's technically possible. I'm not saying anyone could do that. I'm just...
Any human being could ever do that, yeah.
But you know.
We done?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done. Say in the comments that Crypt of the Necrodancer isn't that hard.
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
1 out of 10.